what's up, good people? I am your host, Joe Henson.
I'm Briley.
And we are Black Love, man, and we welcome y'all to this thing we do every Sunday called L.A.M.E. Shit Different Day. And for those of you who do not know, L.A.M.E. is living as me every day. And we hope y'all feel lame out here, man, because it feel good to be lame over here. How you feel?
I feel good.
It feel good over here. Man, I don't know, man. Life is just constantly unfolding. It's constantly unfolding, man. And I can't quote verbatim, but I recall coming across a quote. I don't even remember who said it. It was just something I kind of just caught in the wind. But they were saying that the whole purpose of life, the whole journey of this thing we call life is just becoming. Like, your whole existence is really just centered around and all about us individually becoming. We're always in the process of becoming something. Yeah. You know what I mean? We're always en route to something. It's always the process and the progress. You know what I mean? It's always en route. We're always on the way. So when I heard that, it just kind of stuck with me. But I can believe that, man, and I'm seeing it so much more now in my life. Like, I'm seeing what I'm becoming. I'm seeing what she's becoming. I'm seeing what we're becoming. I'm seeing what the world is becoming. I'm seeing what people in the world are becoming, good and bad. Like, I'm watching a lot of things become what they're meant to be, or become what they're supposed to be in the next phase of whatever it is. You know what I mean? Because life ain't shit but stages and phases. But I say that to say, man, when I think about just where we at as a country, like not even just the whole world, but just the country, just little old United States, or should I say the divided states of America. This is a journey that I'm personally enjoying having a front row seat to. Being 35 in 2020, I used to always feel like I was born in the wrong time period. But more and more I realized, like, nah, I was born right on time. I was born right on time. Right on time. It's just, I'm glad to be my age now rather than be 14 now, 13 now, 12, 10, or be 50, 60, 70. I'm glad I'm in the midway point where I can take advantage of the new world we're in, but I still remember the world of yesteryear. You know what I mean? And I can see, and not only can I see, but God forbid if nothing happens to me, I can live to help shape the future. You know what I mean? Like the for real future. So I feel like we got a good seat in history, man.
When you put it that way, then I can agree. But
I feel like we got a good seat.
I did believe I might have been born in the wrong era, man. But, I mean, I'm here for a reason, so I'm where I'm supposed to be. To be honest, if I was born in another era, I don't know, I would be like, I know I would be different from how I am now, but that's why I'm curious.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, since I'm here now, might as well enjoy the journey.
Definitely. Speaking of that, that's funny because that reminds me of the Jada shit when the red tabletop when she topped the wheel, and the name of it was "Here's to the Journey."
Oh, yeah.
But that's for real though. Like, life ain't shit but a journey, man. We constantly doing this. Even if you backslide, you still moving. Cause sometimes the 2 steps back is what help you go forward. But in today's world, in today's news, Nick Cannon, man. Nick Cannon.
Something a little explosive happened.
Nick Cannon. That means a lot for me because I ain't never really been that big of a Nick Cannon fan. You know what I mean? I'm a positive black member of the universe. So I don't diss or tear down my fellow people. You know what I mean? I'll be honest about something that I don't necessarily like, but I'm not gonna tear nobody down. So when I say stuff like what I'm about to say, understand I'm only joking. It's partially true, but it's mainly just jokes. But I always thought Nick Cannon was lame. I always thought he was lame, man. But like not him as a human, because I don't know him personally. So not him as a human, but just certain
some of his endeavors.
Ever since Drumline, that was my first time seeing him. Ever since Drumline, I was like, I'm done with this nigga. I can't fuck with this nigga. I'm done with him. Then when he did Love Don't Cost a Thing, I was like, yeah, I'm done with this nigga.
That was the one when I was just like, yeah, boy, I don't know.
That was better than Drumline to me.
I liked Drumline because I was in the band.
Yeah, but
I was on the dance line, so I liked Drumline.
Man, Drumline was trash.
Only the first one though. Anything after that, I was just like, yeah, y'all doing too much.
That movie didn't even deserve a sequel. They just shitted on niggas twice. I'm just playing. I'm just joking, but it's partially true.
And I still cringed a little bit. It was always something about him that I liked or wanted to like, but it was still something about him that made me cringe a little bit. So even back then when he was doing like all that, he was funny. But since he wasn't one of the original members, I was just like, I don't know about that dude. And still, when he would have the moment to make me laugh, it would just be like, oh, that wasn't it right there. But I'm appreciative of your trying. But all the other stuff he's accomplished, although we tend to overlook it, it's pretty dope. It's pretty dope.
He's dope. He's dope. Despite how cornball I feel he is sometimes. But I mean, ain't nothing wrong with that. Like, that's the thing. That's why I'm saying I'm joking. Like, because truth be told, it's a whole lot worse you can be in this world than corny.
Yeah, I'm corny.
If corny is the worst thing a person can say about you, you doing good in the world. You know what I mean? Like,
I know I'm corny.
I don't really think you corny, but I see why you say that, but I don't really think you corny. But even if you were, it wouldn't change nothing because there are a lot worse you could be than corny. You know what I mean? Everybody ain't cool and hip and all this other extra shit. Like, some of us are real square, and it's cool. It's good, actually. I don't know. I like some of the square shit. There's a space for corniness. There's some people who ain't funny unless they corny. You know, so I don't really hold that against them. I just be talking shit about niggas just because it's fun. But I also know it's not personal. Like, I'm actually glad we have Nick Cannon. Like, despite how I feel about some of the corny shit he do, what he represent, what he's about, and what he does, I am 100% in alignment with that. I can't say not one thing that I know of that he's done that make us look bad.
Yeah, not on no.
Make us look bad.
He ain't set us back now. He
you know
ain't
what I mean?
us back.
And that's important. And that's a perfect segue to what I want to say now. Because for those of y'all who don't know, and trust me, we are not the gossip column, so if we speaking on it, it's connected to us for real. We ain't just, this is not the let's just pick hot topics so people will click shit. This ain't what this is. This ain't how lame shit different they go. We not just gonna talk about the hot topics because they're hot topics. We want to talk about this Nick Cannon shit because of how pivotal it is right now. But for those of you who don't know, there's been talks that he allegedly, so take this with a grain of salt, allegedly was not canceled, but fired from Wild 'N Out, which ultimately would mean the show is either canceled or somebody else gonna oversee it. Kind of like the Dave Chappelle situation. The thing about it is, he didn't do anything at the show or on set or anything like that. It wasn't a bad business meeting. It was none of that. It was his podcast, Cannon's Class.
That's not even on the same network.
A completely separate thing that he did, and what should I say that he does, and he shared some viewpoints. And I'm gonna play the video just so y'all can hear the audio. I found the video was about 5 minutes, and it sums up well, I don't even want to say it sums up. You just literally hear what he said that got him in trouble. I personally don't see nothing wrong with it. But then again, I'm not the people he's referring to. But we gonna dive into this, but I'm gonna go ahead and play this for y'all. Because we're not big, we can do shit like this.
Talk about the power of melanated people. When we talk about who we really are as guys and understanding that our melanin is so powerful and it connects us in a way that the reason why they fear black, the reason why they fear is because the lack that they have of it. So then when you see what Dr. Francis C. Wellsman talked about is that fear and that
just genetic annihilation.
Deficiency of when you have a person that has the lack of pigment, the lack of melanin, that they know that they will be annihilated. So therefore, however they got the power, they have the lack of compassion. That melanin comes with compassion. Melanin comes with soul. And we call it soul. We soul brothers and sisters. That's the melanin that connects us. So the people that don't have it are a little, and I'm gonna say this carefully, are a little less, and where the term actually comes from, because I'm bringing it all the way back around to Minister Farrakhan, to where they may not have the compassion or the when they were sent to the mountains of Caucasus, when they didn't have the power of the sun, that the sun then started to deteriorate them. So then they're acting out of fear, they're acting out of low self-esteem, they're acting out of a deficiency. So therefore, the only way that they can act is evil. The only way they have to rob, steal, rape, kill, and
fight or flight,
in order to survive.
Exactly.
So then these people who didn't have what we had, and when I say we, I speak of the melanated people.
Right.
They had to be savages. They had to be barbaric. Because they're in these Nordic mountains. They're in these rough, torrential environments. So they're acting as animals.
Right.
So they're the ones that are actually closer to animals. They're the ones that are actually the true savages. And then they built up such this I won't say warrior, but they built up such this conquering barbaric mentality that they're coming out of Europe. They then said, in order for us to survive, we have to take what's not ours. And then they went to the land that actually where we all originated. And instead of trying to make friends, they said, we want what you got. Because there's this mentality of whether it's the Caesars or even that we have to conquer.
Right.
So I say all that to say the context. And when we speak of whether it's Jewish people, white people, Europeans, the Illuminati, they were doing that as survival tactics to stay on this planet.
Right, because
we never had to do that.
Right, because they've learned when they circumnavigated the globe and they ran into these islands and these places, and we were already there to greet them.
Right. With open arms.
With open arms, teaching them, but they
were deficient.
They were deficient, so they wanted to get what they thought we had, and we did have it. So the rape took place of the woman. The theft took place of the natural resources.
And then that's where their disease.
Exactly.
That's where their mentality, because I'm trying to get to that place of how they were able to get control over the gods. How they were able to get control over their
once they learned that, though, and now they raped and impregnated, left and came back, and they saw the child lighter, they said, wow, that's when they learned genetics. Genetic annihilation. So now you have to set up a system of white supremacy to control that.
Right.
So now we have 13 families here, Illuminati that's manipulating and controlling. Subgroups. Now we got to set up organizations.
Coming out of Europe.
You understand what I'm saying? And look for that same system. Now you're talking about survival, what you just laid out. Now it's fight or flight. Now we have to set up these systems in order to survive.
Right.
But listen, not just survive to get some damn some hamburger buns and some cheese. I'm talking about on the genetic level.
Because they will, and that's even from the white nationalists to the white supremacy mentalities to Donald Trump himself wanting to build walls.
Right.
They're trying to keep what they consider pure.
Exactly. On a subconscious
They're trying to
level. Because sometimes they don't know why they acted out.
It's just been proven. It was National Geographic just put it out by 2050. Every person will be
Okay, so that's what was said that got Nick Cannon where Nick at. Apparently he was wilding out to them, no pun intended. So apparently they were like, this nigga wilding out. He's saying too much. You know what I mean? We gotta pull away. Now, this is the thing. He's being accused of saying anti-Semitic stuff. I haven't seen the whole podcast episode. So if he said some other stuff, I don't know. But
yeah, that was my first time hearing that little bit. I've never, I haven't seen that episode of his podcast.
And I love his podcast. Cannon's Class, love that shit. Like, love that shit.
I personally didn't hear anything wrong. What I believe what took place is he was speaking too much truth. It was too much facts. It wasn't no hidden messages in there or anything that's gonna be like, well, you could take it this way, you could take it that way. And the reason why I say that is because when it comes to media and how the media operates, in the midst of all that truth, they gonna throw something in there to throw you off.
Oh yeah, everybody.
They always throw something in there to throw you off, or they're not going to give you the full truth. They'll give you the headline of it, but as far as the details that you really would want and need, they'll throw something in there to make it seem like you're getting the details and you're not. He just laid it all out. And when I believe when you get to a certain level, when you are a person of color, or just I'll say straight up black, when you black, and you get to a certain level of success, and they see the type of knowledge you have, it's like, all right, we're gonna have to try to figure out how to tame him. We're gonna have to put him or her, like, set them back some, because you doing too much. We agreed to work with you under these circumstances. You're not supposed to cross this line. But then they fail to realize, like, shoot, we powerful within ourselves. So the ones that realize that and know that and step up on their own and plant their feet, we gotta knock this sucker down. We gotta do something. And that's just what I think. That's literally what I think is what's taking place. Because he has gotten to the top of everything that he set out to do. And it ain't but so far they gonna let you go when you making statements like that. If you wouldn't have said that, we wouldn't have heard nothing about it. You would have still been getting wild and out and everything else. But since he was being open and honest on his own, which should have been safe, in my opinion, on his own separate thing from what he's working on outside of those networks, or outside of that network, because it's one big major company, he probably would have been straight, to be honest. I honestly think he would have been straight.
Yeah.
But since somebody had an eye on him to make sure, like, he got to make sure he don't hop out of pocket. They always going to have somebody within the mix. It's a game, but they playing a game. At least that's what I think.
I don't know, man. I do agree with everything you said. Like, it's definitely a game being played. You know what I mean? And we got to realize, man, it's a mind game. It ain't a money game. It ain't a heart game. It ain't a skin color game. It's a mind game. And they playing games with the mind. And the sharpest mind will win. You know what I mean? The strongest mind will win. The mind that has the most control will win. So I think we got to realize that as a people. When it comes to what Cannon said, what Nick said, he only said what's been being said for a very long time.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
He
like,
just had a platform to do it.
He didn't say nothing new. But the thing is, he said it at the most sensitive time in the world.
Yeah, that's true.
And he said it in the early stages of this black revolution that we watching.
Yeah.
Because I don't know if y'all know this, but the revolution will be viral. And it's happening right now. This is not, we haven't seen all of it. This is the early phases of it. It's just started. And I can't even say it just started It's just like planting a seed. Like when you plant a seed, it takes time from the day you plant it in the soil to the day that it sprouts. There's time between the day it's planted, and the day it starts sprouting, the day it starts budding. We're just in the budding process. We just see the budding. Like we just seeing like, oh, okay, something is happening with this seed that was planted. We still don't know exactly what this is gonna grow into and how vast it's gonna grow. It's too soon to say, but I'm telling you now, mark my words, right here, right now. We are witnessing the very beginning of the Black Revolution. And this is not this ain't just a revolution for black folk. This is a revolution for the world. This is definitely a revolution for America. The divided states gonna come together after this revolution take place. Because the people who kept the United States divided, they gonna either move out the way or we gonna move their ass out the way. But one way or another, they not gonna be able to sit in their positions of power as comfortably as they've been sitting before, because this revolution is gonna change and it's gonna create evolution. And when that evolution comes, anything that's old, that don't go with the flow of the new winds of the world, the new program, the new system, the new way to life, the new way of living, the new way of being in America, anything that don't go with that is gonna be thrown to the wayside. So it's gonna be a lot of old traditional thinking that been fucking us up for generations that finally need to get the fuck on. It's gonna be a lot of stuff that we've been programmed as black people to say or believe, or as white people to say or believe. All of us, all our programming, we gonna have that shit challenged. If it ain't already being challenged, it's eventually going to be challenged, because this revolution is only taking place for evolution. That's it. This shit finna change shit. And I'm just sitting back watching it and enjoying it. And it didn't just start now. If I had to say, this really started about 2009. 2009 is when the first seed was planted. Like when we started talking about the Illuminati and that started being like a conscious thing, that was the first step. Because that was what opened a lot of people's eyes to, there's more going on than what you know. There's more going on than what you see.
And it's not like people didn't already feel it. Yeah. It's just,
we didn't have a name, we weren't sure.
You have nothing to put with it to really just be sure, like, if what I'm feeling, am I tripping? You know what I'm saying? Or what I'm seeing, am I tripping? But when you got a name to put on it and you starting to get a little bit more information, it's like, oh, all right, okay.
Mm-hmm.
So now you're, ironically enough. But I start opening.
Yeah.
But to go back to Cannon, because you had mentioned I think you had said it was too soon probably for him to say what he said. On one end,
I didn't say that.
Oh, well, what did you say?
I was just saying that it's too soon for us to be able to see like how this seed is gonna grow. What's gonna come from what's taking place so far as the revolution.
It was something else you said before that though, before you got to that part. But
I don't know. I didn't say that.
I might have heard wrong. But on one end, I think it could be. It might have been a little too soon to mention, like all the facts that although other people have been saying, on one end, I think it might have been too soon during this realization of things of sorts that we're going through in the world. But on the flip side, like, it's not, because if he wouldn't have said it, we wouldn't have known like how quick they would have tried to respond. We would have known. We already have an idea really of how quick they was gonna try to respond, but how they tried to bring them down so easily. But yet, it's like, who else would have done it though during this time with that with his status? I guess, like, who else would have done it? Ain't nobody else done it yet. It might have been some more. It might be some more people who would have done it, and it has been other celebrities that has been speaking out and saying little stuff here and there. But he just flat out said it all, And he even tried to make sure he said it right. So it might be the right time, because we might have needed something to kind of like switch gears a little bit, because we have a thing where we get too comfortable with a situation, and the situation ain't even really, we ain't got nothing from it yet. We ain't learned nothing. Ain't nobody got a better understanding on nothing. Ain't nobody moving different. It's just we getting freaking companies changing names and changing brands and stuff like that, and all the stuff like that. Okay, yeah, that's cool. But deep down to the root, to the nitty gritty, to these people mindsets and in their heart, are we changing something? Is something finna switch where governments and systems finna change, where it be actually equal for everybody? Like, but it's gonna take things like what Nick Cannon said and did for certain things to happen. It's gonna have to happen with more than just him. What else? I forgot. But yeah, I'm happy at the fact that he said something. But the thing that's bothering me though, which I saw it coming, because that's just what people do, he demanded an apology. Mm-hmm. Which he is not wrong for demanding an apology, because it was something that wasn't even said on their networks, and you know what I'm saying, like he wasn't being disrespectful to nobody. He was just minding his own, doing his own thug thizzle. So, and of course, wilding out is his idea. He came to them, you know, that's his or whatever, and amongst other things. Now, a lot of people get mad at him because he went back and apologized to them. And I can understand why they mad. It's like, nah, man, hold your nuts, man. You demand this, and we proud of you, this, that, next, and the third. But be proud of that man for standing up and apologizing, because he realized, like, I got a lot more on my back than just me. Like, I got other people that I'm helping lift up and get out of the situation that I was in. I got a lot of people that's looking up to me, and this, that, and next, including his personal family, not just the people that he's hired and that he's working with. He got family, he got kids, you know what I'm saying? So it's people that he loves and care for. So you gotta make sure it weighs out. Like, on one end, yeah, you gotta take care of all the people that you're working with and this, that, and next, but shoot, I gotta take care of my family. So you gotta figure out what you're willing to give up, or what you're willing to sacrifice in this situation for whatever you standing on, because it's always gonna be something. We don't like to accept it and realize it, but it's always something we gonna have to give up. That's just like in the Avengers movie, like Black Widow. Mm-hmm. She gave herself so everybody else could have. Like, you have to give something
in order to get the soul stone. You gotta give a soul for a soul.
So it's something, you gotta sacrifice something. What's his name? With the gauntlet. Can't think of his name right now. Thanos. Why I want to call him Thor? That's why I knew it was wrong. But Thanos, he gave up something just so he could get all them stones. And you saw how he was sitting there by himself. He was happy, but I don't think he was really truly happy. He gave up his daughter.
He wasn't.
So I mean,
that was the whole point.
I mean, hey, on both ends, good and bad ends, you have to give up something for what you really want. So I just would advise people to think twice before they do that. Like, just don't write somebody off or write them off as crazy or whatever because they standing on what they believe in, or they went back on something. Like, because you don't know all the situation. You don't know what all factors that might be playing a part in that person's situation. You don't know what's going on in their head or whatever. So you, to be real, mind your business. mind your business.
Mind your business.
Because, I mean, it's sometimes you might want to go off it on your manager, but you had to think about it like, no, I got to wait these 2 weeks, man, because I need this check. Like, I got to make sure my daughter or my son going to have a good birthday. Although this nigga done disrespected me majorly. but I have to bite my tongue so I can stay here and make that check. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's always something you have to weigh out. I don't know, man. I don't know. I feel for Nick, though. I feel for Mr. Cannon, because he actually is trying hard to add to the culture instead of take away.
Mm-hmm.
And you could clearly tell with his statement he made on Twitter, is like, when y'all can have this planet, like, he was fighting really hard and believed really hard for fighting for us and what he loved, but
I just don't understand that
people
tweet.
turned against him.
I just don't understand that tweet.
As far as like
y'all can have this planet, I'm out. Where are you gonna go? Where are you gonna go off of this planet, Mr. Nick Cannon? Where?
Literally, I do not know, but
where?
You could take it several different ways. You could take it as he just not gonna be on the social media stuff no more. Y'all can have that. He could be like, y'all can have all this entertainment stuff and just be like bump it and just seclude himself.
On the planet.
Still on the planet, but you can detach yourself from the world. So. But
you still gonna be on the planet.
Okay.
I don't know. But I feel them though. If I could, if there was a way to get the fuck off this planet, I would have done it already. I feel them. Cause it's just, I don't know, man. This place. I always say humans are God's only mistake. I always say that, like, and I just say that if it's possible for God to make a mistake. If it is, it would be us. We would be God's mistake, because we the only ones that don't do what we supposed to do. You know what I mean? We know too much to not know nothing. You know what I mean? Like, and I think that kind of go into what you were saying, like, mind your business. Like, we like to chime in and give our whole dollar. We don't even give 2 cents. We give a whole dollar about some shit we don't really know shit about. And we'll slander people. And it's cool to do that. Like, that's culture now, to slander somebody. Like, you're famous. I know a little bit about you, so I feel like I know enough to completely weigh in on you, what you do, what you feel, what you think, your family, what you care about. With, like, I can speak on you, and I feel like I'm right because I'm able to see a little bit of your life. But it's like, you can't sum nobody up by their profile, though. You can't. There's no human that can fully be summed up by their profile. I'm very open on Facebook as far as me and who I am and what I'm about, what I represent, what I stand for, all that. But if you just look on Facebook and think you're going to get to know me, you very, very, very ignorant, because you don't even get half of me on Facebook.
It's just like,
you know what I mean? Even in the podcast, you don't get all of me in the podcast. I'm too layered. We too layered as people to be able to give you all of us in one dimension, because we multi-dimensional beings. We're multifaceted. We got so many layers and shades to who we are. So it's just weird to me that you can be a celebrity and be famous and people just think they know you because they see you on TV or because they see your videos or because they see you online. But it's like, you don't really know me though. So I think one thing we gotta do, we gotta chill out with the ego. You know what I mean? The ego make you feel like you know more than you know. Chill with the ego. Tone that bit down, calm that bit down, keep that bitch in check. Chill with the ego. Because at the end of the day, and I love this fucking quote, man. Like, the Dalai Lama say, man, nothing is as it appears. That's so fucking real. Like, when you look at somebody, they might appear to be rich or appear to be happy or appear to be sad. They could appear to be whatever. But whatever you see them as, it's definitely more to it than that. And we just gotta be open-minded about that. So, me personally, when it comes to Nick Cannon and what Nick Cannon said, I don't see a bad side to it. I think it happened exactly how it was supposed to, because I don't think anything happens outside of how it's supposed to. I don't think there is a, you should have did this then, or you should have did this at this time, I think everything happens right on time. So I personally, I don't think he did nothing too soon or too late or none of that. I think he did it exactly when he was supposed to do it. I even will go as far as to say I think he did it exactly when he was supposed to do it, because when he did it, he already knew that knowledge years ago. He could have shared that and said that and did that years ago. And maybe he did and I just didn't hear it. But regardless of what, he said it when he was supposed to say it, and it just so happened to be at a pivotal time in our country like right now. And I feel like that's not a coincidence. That's that he did what he was supposed to do. And I was having a conversation on Facebook because I saw a post where somebody was talking about Will and Jada, and they were saying don't let Will and Jada distract us from Breonna Taylor and what's going on in the country, yada yada yada, blah blah blah, right? And I get why they say that. Like, clearly on the surface, I get why they say that. But as always, I'm always looking for all 6 sides of the cube. I'm looking for left, right, behind, forward, under, and up. I'm looking for all 6 sides of the cube. So I see that side when the dude said it, but then I looked at another side and I was like, bruh, a revolution can't be one-dimensional. A revolution ain't just politically. If you're gonna have a revolution and things are gonna revolve and revolt, it's not just gonna happen on one level, it's gonna happen on every level. Everything trickles down because everything is connected. So if we have a political revolution, we also gotta have a social revolution. We also have to have an economic revolution. You know what I mean? And it just keeps going down and down and down until you cover the whole spectrum of whatever revolution is taking place. But every revolution is multi-layered. So I can see like, okay, George Floyd being murdered and everything that took place with that, that was the political shit. But it ain't even just George Floyd, it's really everything that led up to that, because there's been so many George Floyds in the past 5 years. So everything just accumulated, and then you had the pandemic, everybody at home, everybody sitting with their phones a whole lot more, ain't got to work and do all this other shit, so it's a lot more time to soak in stuff and digest stuff. It mattered more. You know what I mean? Same shit, but it mattered more. But that's why I be like, with time, like, things happen on time. That needed to happen then, during this time, to make the impact that it has made right now during this time. But that's just one aspect of the revolution. That's just the aspect of injustice and the law. And there's some social aspects of it. It's real socio-political though, but there are some aspects of it that's social. But mostly it's a political, like the actual American system type shit. It's on that level as far as George Floyd. When I think about Jada and Will, that's more social. That's more person to person. You know what I mean? Man to woman, especially black man to black woman. Like, we can't have a black revolution and have black men and black women divided. It's not gonna work. We need each other to revolt. We can't have a revolution without having both sides together, connected as one, side by side, sword and shield in hand. It gotta work like that. That's the only way it can be a revolution. If they changed all the laws and the system changed and we were still broken and divided as a people, we wouldn't have much of a revolution. We wouldn't win in the end. We would still lose because the only real victory is us being connected. Fuck what the rest of the world think and feel or how they treat us. It's about us being connected. Me, you, her, anybody that's black, melanated. Our revolution is about us staying connected and being one as a people. Anything outside of that, if we don't get that part of it, we fail. I don't care how much money. I don't give a damn if they gave us reparations times 10. We can have all the money in the world, but if the money divided, how is it going to help us? And we can look at times now and know that. Mm-hmm. There's plenty of black people that's prosperous, rich, all kind of shit. But what are they doing for the people, though?
It's funny you bring that up because I saw the episode of Dave Chappelle when they actually paid all the black people the reparations.
I saw that the other day.
And I'm not even really watching it. I'm just listening to it because we done seen that episode I don't know how many times. So I'm just listening to it and I'm just thinking to myself, like just listening to everything. Although he was telling a joke, It's so true.
All of it.
Everything that everybody was saying they was gonna buy and what they were buying, it was not even for the benefit of us, like for the well-being of us as a community.
It wasn't even beneficial to them.
Not even for long. This man bought a freaking, you not even a truck driver. You bought an 18-wheeler full of cigarettes to last you a lifetime. You done shorten your life. Like, what? For you and your family. Like, we got to come together some kind of way, though. Because
I mean, it's a lot of ways.
If, just like what you were saying, if we get all of this and this and this that we begging for and asking for and that we should have got ages ago and still haven't gotten it, when we get it, what we gonna do with it? We don't even appreciate the little bit that we have now together.
Yeah, but it just none of this shit means shit if we divide it, man. It's just as simple as that. Nothing means nothing. Like, just like the Bible say, bro, if I can have faith that move mountains and can hold light in my palms. If I have love, I have nothing. Like, period. You can have all the treasures of the world, but if you have love, if you don't have love, you have nothing. So we need our love. We need black love. We need, hey, you my brother. I don't know you, but you my brother. I look at you like my brother, my flesh and blood brother. We have ancestors that we share. We share a lifestyle. We share a struggle. We share pain. We share overcoming the struggle. There's so many levels that me and you can connect despite what type of black man you are and what type of black man I am. Just the fact that we're black men, that in itself gives us so many common grounds for us to walk with each other on. Same thing when it comes to a black man and a black woman or two black women. We just got to realize we are a family. So for me, I'm not the type of person that's going to get online and bash my brothers or bash my sisters. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to hold people accountable, but I'm not going to bash or tear nobody down in the process because you my family. So I think what he did was necessary. I don't necessarily like that he went back and did the apology, but only that's him. That's his decision. I can't even speak on that because that's not my decision. My decision is not his. That's his decision. But I will say this, and this is what I really want to talk about. We've been called animals and savages all my life. So how come it's a big issue now for somebody to be called an animal and a savage? How many fucking mainstream media outlets, news channels, who then refer to black people as animals and savages and hadn't been shut down or closed? People ain't been fired. And this just to my knowledge. Now, this stuff could happen and I not know about it. So I'm just speaking from my own experiences and what I've seen and witnessed firsthand. But we've been called animals and savages a lot by a lot of people. And most of these people were not black. We've been being called animals and savages all my life. And I don't recall hearing about anybody getting fired, no stations being shut down, no businesses being closed, no none of that from people calling us savages. But as soon as a black man get up and say that they the ones that's actually animals and savages, now all of a sudden shit gotta get canceled, niggas gotta get fired, you know what I mean? And I get it. But this is my thing. You shouldn't dish out something you can't take. If you don't want us to talk about you like that, don't talk about us like that. And the thing with me is, and this goes for all people, all shades, why we can't get past judging a group. Like, there's no group that I can just sum up as one thing because I don't know everybody in the group. I can't say anything about all white people, all Jewish people, all Europeans, all black people, all nothing, because everybody different. It's good in everything and it's bad in everything. So maybe I'm just tripping, but I don't get the anti-Semitic part of what he said, not from the clip that I played, but I will say this. To some extent, we gotta give people their freedom of speech, But in our freedom of speech, we gotta be respectful towards other people. But to me, the number one thing is we gotta be real. We gotta be real about shit. So we can't make a big deal out of it when you say it, but it ain't a big deal when I say it. You know what I'm saying? Like, if we gonna keep it real, it gotta be real across the board. It's like, hey, nobody needs to make any racial shit, no religious slurs. Like, we don't need no kind of blatant verbal disrespect on media outlets. If that's how we gonna rock, then let's rock like that. But let's not only rock like that when a black man says some shit, but then when white folks project this shit over and over and over, it's cool. You know what I mean? Like, or when a woman said it's fine, but when a dude said it's a problem, or when a dude said it's fine, and when a woman said it's a problem. If we real, let be real across the board. The truth is the truth no matter who said it. So I really feel like we got to get past this whole closed-minded, trying to group people up in groups and speak to this person because of all these other people you've dealt with that look like that person. Because every black person ain't the same, every white person ain't the same, every nobody is the same, everybody different. So I appreciate what he said, because the people that he's speaking to and the people that he's speaking on and about, that's real. That's very, very real. The people that run this country are scared of us. They scared of us and they scared for their lives. Like, they really do fear that they won't exist. And they really do fear that they don't have the power to maintain and stay afloat here without doing a lot of the slick, shady bullshit they do. Like, these the same people, man, that gave smallpox, that put smallpox in blankets and shit and fucked the Native Americans up. These are the same people that took us from Africa. This is the same people, man, who have lied, raped, killed, and pillaged their whole history all the way up to this point now where they reign on top. But they didn't always reign on top. Nothing was always on top. We all take turns being on the top and the bottom in life. That's what I love about life. Everybody get a chance to sit in the chair. You know what I mean? Before this shit all said and done, all of us gonna get to sit in the throne and see what it feel like to us. Some of us gonna like it. Some of us gonna get drunk off of it. Some of us gonna sit in it and be like, I don't really care for this. But we all gonna sit in that motherfucker eventually, though, to get a chance. Everybody gets their chance. So, I don't know, man. I don't want nobody to be oppressed. I don't care what color you are. I don't think that shit cool. I don't think we should say fuck shit to white people just because in history white folks have done fucked up shit. Because the people who did that in history, the 13 families that they was referring to, those people are not the people we deal with at work. They're not the same people. You know what I mean? They're very different people. They might look similar, but they're very different. So that's why I don't believe in like grouping niggas. But to you motherfuckers that's controlling this shit, all y'all motherfuckers, y'all are flawed as fuck. Y'all know who y'all are. Y'all ain't gonna pay a nigga like me no mind, because I don't have enough money and power to change nothing you doing. But just in case you see it and hear it, fuck you. Y'all niggas ain't shit, and y'all ruining the world on some selfish, greedy shit. Shit could have been very different, but y'all chose to do this in the most fucked up, flawed, killer be killed, dog eat dog mentality type way you could have possibly did this. But the civilization we grew up in, that we're living in, that our kids are growing up in, this was never intended to be the way of the world. It didn't have to go like this. You know what I mean? This ain't what God envisioned when God took out the time to make everything on this planet and create the planet itself and to give us the job to inhabit this planet. This was not what God saw in its vision. So, you know what I mean? We just gotta realize what we fucking up at and what we misusing the blessing of this world, man. Like, this planet is a blessing. All the natural resources on it is a blessing. The fact that the planet takes care of itself is a blessing. Because we don't know how to take care of this planet for real, for real. Hell, we can see that with how we damaging the planet. We don't know how to take care of this shit. But the planet take care of itself. It rejuvenates itself. It renews itself. But if we keep fucking it up with our human shit, we're gonna destroy this planet. Or at least destroy ourselves trying. But we got to figure out a way to make this shit work, man. We got to figure out a way to share this space peacefully as a people. And that's all shades of people. And until we get to a point where we can do that without trying to kill somebody or knock somebody out of their position or take advantage of somebody, until we can just say, hey, y'all deserve a piece of bread. We deserve a piece of bread. Everybody deserves some bread. This is the bread we got. Let's split it up evenly. Everybody eat. And let's just take care of our families, man, and enjoy this life we got while we here. Until we can get to that point, we gonna stay here. But, Mr. Cannon, thank you, bro. Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Even though what you said has been said, it needs to keep being said. We need to keep spreading awareness and bringing to people's consciousness that it is a group of people, families, royal families, who's been holding this shit down and been controlling shit from behind the scenes for generations, for fucking centuries. They've been doing this shit for centuries. Centuries, my nigga. You know what I'm saying? Like, and the crazy shit is the Illuminati is bad, but it started out as good.
Mm-hmm.
It started out as good. Illuminati, it ain't shit but illumination. It's meant to illuminate people, enlighten people, bring things that are in the dark to the light. But it's meant to be a good thing. It really was about spiritual awakening at one point. But when the new Illuminati was formed, which is the Illuminati we talk about now, they took it and went in the opposite direction. Their version of illuminating and light got a lot of darkness to it. And that's just how it go in the world, man. Things that was once good got corrupt or get corrupted, gets tainted, and then it gets perverted and projected in a way that it wasn't intended to be put out in. But I don't fuck with the Illuminati. I don't fuck with them. I do not fuck with them because they the reason why so many people in poverty, why so many people have been killed, murdered, why so many pointless wars go on. So I'm glad that Nick spoke on it. You know what I mean? And I don't know what the fuck their issue is.
Really?
I really don't. I don't know.
What's going on, since it is the revolution is starting to peak, like peak as in peeking its head out of the door. But since it's starting to happen, they real anxious about damage control.
Yeah.
So right now they scrambling on trying to figure out how they can gain the control back. So since Nick is in a position, or whoever that's black and in a high position, they really watching you to make sure you're not finna say nothing sideways to them that's sideways to disrupt whatever they trying to keep intact or make it go a whole nother area that they trying to prevent from it even being in that spot. So since right now everybody is home and ain't nobody doing much, every little thing is in the forefront. So, oh, he said this, boom, let me try to fix him. Let's fire him now. We don't need that type of stuff or whatever. So, and that's with everything. That's even down to us trying to figure out, like, are they gonna charge these police officers that's doing all these crimes and stuff? When it be all this time in the midst of it, just passing by and ain't nobody been charged, they damage control. At least in my opinion.
I'm not, anything that happens and go public, there are a team of people in the background that's doing damage control. Because
that's
100%.
what every business has to have some kind of form of damage control.
Yeah.
So it doesn't matter what the situation is, who it's with, it's going to be some form of damage control.
Facts.
So, yeah, I mean, and that's the same on Mr. Cannon's side. Like, shoot, I said what I said and I meant what I said, but I gotta apologize because I gotta do some damage control because my family gonna feel for this. Like, they gonna feel that too. But, and I could be wrong for that, but it's damage control, man. The same way, I wanted to say this too, like the same way the media tries to hide certain truths and stuff, we do that, because you mentioned social media. Like, we do that too with our own personal pages. So the media outlets, I'll say that the media outlets try to control their content and how their image or whatever they trying to push out. So if it's something that's getting put out that they don't want to be seen, they're going to try to snip and cut it and do all they got to do to make sure that's not going to be affecting the image that they're trying to put out. But we as a people on our own social media sites do that the same way. So I just think that's something we got to keep in mind too. Actually, like, we try to hide and hold back stuff too. I don't know why I wanted to say that though. I really wanted to say that, but it was something that you said. It was something that you said. It was like, yeah, that's we do the same. So
I mean,
I guess I wanted to say it because it's like, okay, be mindful of what's being put into your face and what's being brought to you in your forefront when you're watching media outlets, but also be mindful like the things that you put out too, like, because we're all human, so it's not like we're not capable of doing some of these things that the people that we don't necessarily agree with are actually doing. We're not exempt. We could easily do something that they're doing, but in a different way.
And that's usually what happens. Like, that's why I say over and over, man, at this point in time, I'm on record saying this shit over and over. Be careful of what you hate, because you could end up becoming what you hate. Be careful about the things that you so adamantly and passionately talk down about, because if you're not careful, you could be doing the same thing. Not to say that you can't verbalize or voice what you feel and what you don't rock with or what don't align with you or whatever. I just say pick your battles wisely, but you just got to be careful, because when you focus so much on something, you attract it. And when you attract it, you don't know how it's going to come. You know what I mean? Sometimes it comes in the form of something else. Sometimes it comes from within you. But one way or another, you're going to attract whatever it is you're focusing on. So a lot of times people who've been cheated on and hurt, they eventually start cheating on people and hurting people. You know what I mean? Selfish people who deal with a lot of selfish people who've been selfish to them and treated them badly out of selfishness all their lives, those same people grow up and be on some, I'm all for me, looking out for me, because all I ever had was me. You know what I'm saying? It's like everybody else was all for themselves. All I ever had was myself, so now I'm out here all for myself. And if you went and dug into the story of all the people that hurt that person through selfishness because they were all for themselves, they also had somebody who hurt them because they were all for themselves. And before you know it, the thing that hurt you, the thing that you hated, the thing that made you feel the deepest pain you might have felt, is the thing that's driving you from trying to avoid ever feeling that pain again. So because you were selfish to me, I'm going to be selfish to him or her, so him or her won't have the same opportunity I gave you to hurt me. So I'm going to be a whole lot more selfish to make sure that don't happen. And that happens in so many ways, way beyond just selfishness and hurting people. It happens. Black people personally, I seriously think we got to be very careful, because we've been on the bottom so long and oppressed and treated badly at the bottom for so long that when we finally do emerge and come out on top, I'm concerned about whether or not we will be just in our position.
I'm very worried about
Are
that.
we going to become oppressors, or are we going to give people their freedom? What are we going to do? Because it's going to happen. Our time is going to come again. Are we going to allow our scars and the pain and the struggles of our lives for decades, for fucking centuries, are we going to allow that to taint us and corrupt us as the new leaders of the world when the time comes?
Because I'm worried about that, because I already see how angry a lot of black people are about things that's happened centuries ago. Not saying that you shouldn't be, because I'm mad about it too. But on the flip side, it's like, okay, we feel that hurt and we understand like our people went through these things, but we not actually going through those exact things. So it's like, okay, what can we do to make sure that this don't happen again? Now, a lot of people like to seek revenge because it feels good. It feels good in the moment, like, yeah, let's do this, let's do that, and retaliate and all this, that, and the next. But when we see what happens when we retaliate. We see that with gangs and stuff in the street. You know, somebody gets shot and killed. Oh, now it's time for us to do the same thing, and it just keep going on and on and on. Mm-hmm. Ain't nothing getting solved. We losing more people and whatever else. Losing love, losing more people, mm-hmm. losing unity, and we just out here lost.
It's a lose-lose situation.
So, and it's the same thing when the tables turn. So once we get and build ourselves up to a certain level in stature, like, okay, are we going to come at them the same way that they came at us? It will feel good to do that. For a lot of people, it will feel good to do that. But they going to get tired of being down and depressed and oppressed too. They going to get tired of that too, just like we are. So what they going to do? What we doing now? Mm-hmm. And then the cycle continues. Mm-hmm. So it's like, if we're going to call ourselves kings and queens, we got to understand, like, okay, you have to hold yourself to a certain caliber. You have to, although my brother or sister may have hurt me here, do I have the love within myself to forgive this person for this and move forward? Mm-hmm. It's certain things you have to know, like, all right, I can forgive you, but I can't forget that. I can't let that go. So I'm going to have to treat you how I need to treat you over here. Mm-hmm. But if it's something that I can move forward on and it ain't that big a deal, it's cool. You know, we can move past that. Let's just keep moving forward to the bigger goal. But it's hard for us to do that because we feel so strongly. Like, we are so passionate, I think, as a people, that we lose sight of whatever because we are so passionate about whatever we feel or whatever we done experienced.
We don't control our emotions well at all. We don't control. But see, that's why I said earlier, it's a mind game. They're playing a mind game. We're playing a heart game. And that's why we're losing. And the crazy shit is, and I know all of us people know this. It's crazy how easily they can manipulate how we feel. They can put out one piece of information, literally one piece of information, and it can either give us life or give us death. It could either make us happy and make us joyful, or it can make us angry and irate and self-destructive. They know how to pull our strings.
Pay attention to the wording.
They know how to pull our strings. You know what I mean? So, like, we got to realize why they do certain shit. They only want to keep us emotional. And the Dylan Roof shit was a number one example. Because the nigga said, I'm trying to start a race war. He literally said that. So,
dude with the church.
Yeah, the white boy that went to Burger King and shit.
Oh.
But look, he said what his goal was.
Yeah. Yeah.
In my brain, and I don't know factually, in my brain, Dylan Roof worked for the government.
Yes, he was planted.
He worked for the government. He worked for the government.
Planted.
He worked for right now he chilling somewhere.
Eating as much Burger King as he wants.
He chilling right now. He worked for the government in my mind. You know what I mean? And I could be wrong, and I'm cool with that. I don't have no problem being wrong. I'm right enough to the point that I don't have no issue being wrong. Because I know me being wrong isn't a reflection of my intelligence. It's just a reflection of my ignorance. But my ignorance does not sum up my intelligence. For everything I'm ignorant about, I know something about. It balances out. So, I don't mind being wrong. I could be wrong. But I think that nigga worked for the government. And even if he don't, he said what his point was. I'm trying to start a race war. Where did he get that idea from? Where did he get that thought process from? Why would he be trying to do that? Why? And if you look at it, don't a lot of this shit that didn't happen, that have been on mainstream news and shit, don't a lot of this look like somebody trying to start a race war?
Somebody.
when you really just look at everything, if we go from 2009 all the way to 2020, the past 11 years, if we just really looked at that, don't it look like somebody trying to make black folks mad?
You know what I wish they'd
Like,
stop doing?
really trying to antagonize us and get us angry about something. Why?
What I wish they would stop doing. I understand you have to identify people, and you have to, and a good way to identify people is because, like, through the color of your skin. But when somebody commit a crime and they trying to put it out to the open for people to know, stop leading with what color they are. Just say it was a male or female who caused this crime, and we ain't gonna know. We ain't gonna know till you show the picture.
Who are you telling to stop doing that?
Media.
You think they're gonna listen to you?
No, but I mean everybody else putting stuff out there, but I can put my stuff out there too.
I mean, that's true.
But even if the media does it, that don't mean that we have to do it, because now we get to a point where it's like, is this person black? Is this person white? Yes, no, yeah, all right, type stuff.
Because
so
it
like,
matters. It matters.
It does, but the reason at the same time we put so much weight on it, it's like we're fueling it more, like the race war. Like we're putting more energy behind. Although that is a thing that does happen. I'm not saying that crime isn't committed because of color of people's skin, but
in 2020, you would have to be a fool to say that at this point.
well, yeah. But I'm just saying.
Because there's a lot of niggas who did. Emmett Till was just a black boy. He was just a black boy. He didn't work for the CIA. He didn't attack nobody. He didn't kill nobody. He didn't threaten nobody. He was just a black boy that saw a white woman that he was attracted to, and he showed signs that he was attracted to her. That was it. So yeah, we damn sure have enough proof that
Yeah,
skin
do,
color is
but
enough. I get what you're
It's just
saying.
stupid.
I get what you're saying, but this is my thing, and this is why I said what I said about the media. They're not gonna listen to you because that's intentional. Like, and me and you talk about this, and I say this to you, but I don't know if you be fully understanding what I be saying. But like, it don't make sense to try to talk sense into somebody who fully understood and understand what the fuck they doing before they doing it, but they choosing to do it because that's what they want to do, because they operate in a different agenda than you. Righteously, yeah, you shouldn't lead with the color. But in all actuality, they do that because they're trying to start a race war. The color matters. It don't matter in the big scheme of things. But this world is not Candyland. This ain't a theme park for everybody. Like, this shit ain't sweet like that. This shit got real bitter parts, real sour parts to it. There are people with with negative agendas. That's their whole thing. So it's like, we know what they should and shouldn't do. But at the end of the day, how can you tell a racist white man you should treat that person right because they're black and they ain't do nothing wrong? Of course so. Of course that's the case.
I'm telling them just like I tell everybody else what I'm saying now and any other time. You can choose to listen or not, but I'm still going to say it. Yeah. So, just like what Nick did, he said what he said, I'm saying what I said. Although I know that ain't a part of their agenda, it got to be said.
I understand.
So, I mean, that's really the whole point of me saying what it is. It's not like I don't know that and I don't see that that's what they're doing and that's
but it's
their
also
goal.
not like they don't know that.
But fuck them. I'm going to say what I was saying anyway.
I mean, but that's what the podcast for. Say what you got to say. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, shit. They've been saying fuck us for so long. Fuck y'all too then, hell. Like,
you saying that. She's saying that, but if some shit really, really for real went down, all that fuck y'all attitude shit, she would not have it. You would not have it. It's easy to say that shit until the enemy at your doorstep now.
Okay.
It's different. So you think you would?
Yes.
Okay.
Because I've been saying it to y'all and whoever else that we talk to about this stuff.
But you safe doing it though. That's what I'm saying. You're safe.
Okay, well run it.
We gonna see. We gonna see, man. The way the world going, we gonna get a chance. We are going to see, like, what everybody made of eventually. One of these days, I don't know what day it's gonna be, but shit gonna hit the fan, and it's gonna be a war in America. And it's already a war. It's already a war. It's been a war. It's been a war since before me and Kyle was even thought of. The war been taking place in America.
To be honest, I'm really not a fighter. I don't really care to fight, but if I got to, I will.
But fighting ain't even just physical, though. There's so many aspects to fighting.
I know, but it's still the same across the board. I don't be wanting to fight. I don't be wanting to do all that. But, I mean, if I have to, I will. So.
Well, thankfully you won't have to. Or should I say, hopefully you won't have to. I don't know the future. But I know shit gonna hit the fan, though. And the silent but everybody knows war that's going on in America, it ain't gonna be so silent. It's already starting to get louder. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
if we wanted to really for real put this in a sense where everybody can understand it, the kid can hear mom and dad arguing through the wall in the other room. At some point, the kid had no idea that their parents even fussed and argued. But tonight, the kid can actually hear the yelling because they're not asleep. The parents think the kid's asleep. The kid is not asleep. That motherfucker is in the bed, scared of the monster that he think is under the bed. And because he's scared of this monster that he think under the bed, he's not asleep. And he can hear mom and dad in the other room arguing. So the kid has two different things to be afraid of. But the number one thing, which is actually the reality, mom and dad are going through some shit that you don't know about. This monster up under your bed that you think exists don't even exist. Shit ain't even real. One day you'll grow up and realize that. But your parents, you gonna learn soon more in depth what they got going on that's causing them to argue and fuss and fight like that. In America, we are those kids. We're learning more and more each day that, okay, there's some shit going on.
And the tension gets...
There's some shit going on.
The tension in the air gets thicker.
Shit, yeah.
As time go on. And I'm saying that because we really do feel the tension in the air. Especially in the South. I'm not sure about any other area, but down here in the South, it's always been tension as far as race goes. But ever since all this other stuff been going on after Mr. George Floyd passed, we could just be riding down the street and somebody will pull up next to us. We either gonna get a hey, like a wave, a head nod. Somebody may speak and have an actual for real conversation with us or feel like they have to have a conversation with us. And some of them just flat out ignore you because they already feel how they feel about black people. So, I mean, we feel it. It's in the air. Like, and I still move how I would normally move. I'm going to speak to whoever I want to speak to. I'm going to say, hey, I'm going to smile, I'm going to nod, I'm going to do whatever else. If you choose not to speak, that's on you. But I do feel that the tension is a little thicker in the air since everything's been going on, and especially when it comes down to police, I feel the tension with them. And most of the police officers that I see black, but I still feel that tension because they don't know who they finna encounter in the day. So they don't know who dealing with what or what, and we don't know what they dealing with. So it's a lot.
I wasn't a big Trinidad James fan as an artist, but I love the fuck out of the title of his first mixtape. Do you know the name of it?
The mixtape, I don't remember.
Don't Be Safe?
I never knew that then, no.
Don't Be Safe. Do you know what SAFE means? It's an acronym.
No.
Don't be sensitive as fuck every day. Don't be safe.
That makes sense with his character.
Yeah. I love Trinidad James. I'm gonna just be straight up. I've loved him since the first time I saw him because I love what he represented. to me, he was like that old dirty bastard energy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, the skill wasn't there because he literally had just started rapping before his song popped out. But the energy was there, though. Like, the energy was there. And when I say energy, I don't mean like their temperament is the same. It's just the spirit of who they are.
He
like,
don't give a fuck.
Yeah, ODB didn't give a fuck.
What I want.
Exactly. And I respect that. I love that. I love anybody that don't give a fuck and gonna do what they do. And they ain't hurt nobody. But the don't be sensitive as fuck every day, though, that's very real right now. Because right now, we just too sensitive. And see, my thing, we got this cancel culture shit. And in my mind, I'm like, why don't we cancel culture? Because that's some bullshit. Like, I don't rock with cancel culture because we using it wrong. We're using our power and our voice as consumers wrong. Like, we canceling shit that we shouldn't even be wasting our energy canceling.
Yeah.
And we cancel people for being human instead of canceling people for being inhuman. You know what I mean? We should be canceling people for being inhumane, not canceling people for doing human shit. We all gonna fuck up. We not gonna say everything right. But if you know what the person's intention is and you know what the person meant when they said what they said, what the fuck we gonna cancel them for? Just because they didn't say it perfectly? And you gonna go home or get off the phone from watching whatever video that you just judged this celebrity for, and you gonna talk to your girlfriend or talk to your parents or talk to somebody, and you gonna say a bunch of wrong shit. The wrong way. You gonna be an asshole, a bitch, dickhead, whatever you wanna call it. You're going to be negative, rude, or cruel, or just flat out reckless with your tongue. You're gonna be that to somebody else that same day because we're human and we do that. We just kids out here, bro, and sometimes we drop shit and break shit when we play. But we kids. Kids don't know how to keep something safe.
For whatever reason, we
destructive.
We look for everything to be perfect, although we know nothing is perfect.
Facts.
And we know that we are not perfect, but yet we seek perfection in everything, including ourselves.
Do you know why?
We want perfection in ourselves, and we think that we are perfect, although we know nobody is perfect. So we expect other people to be perfect, and we wind. As soon as somebody make the slightest mistake or do something that doesn't cater to your perfect image, is something wrong. And we hold people and destroy people. We sabotage people. We slander people because of whatever image that you had of this person in your head, instead of just viewing them as a straight up person.
And in just viewing them how they are. Like, it's a difference between who I am and who you think I am. Shit, very different. Who I am is very different from who you think I am. You can think the greatest shit in the world about me, but again, nothing is as it appears. So it's like, on one end, yeah, you might think I'm whatever, and that's good or bad, but there's always more to a person. So if you think I'm the greatest thing in the world, well, get what? I got flaws, and I've done fucked up shit, and I'm probably gonna do more fucked up shit. You know what I mean? If you think I'm just this terrible whatever person, cool, but I got love in me. I love my mama. I love my woman, my partner. I love my friends. I love my family. I sacrifice a lot. I do a lot. I help people even when I don't have to. Most of the time I help, I don't even get nothing out of it. I just help people, and that's what I get out of it. I feel good being a positive contribution to the world. Like, being somebody that puts good in the world. It make me feel good. It give my life purpose. But there's no box you could put me or any other human in that we would fit in, because we too big, we too layered, we're too vast as a character, as a personality, as beings made from God. It's just too much to us for us to be summed up so quick, fast, and easily. That's why I don't judge people. I might not like something somebody do, but I can't judge you as a whole human because I don't know all aspects of you. It's cool to talk shit about Trump, but I look at it like, for everything bad that we see Trump do as a president or as a celebrity, somebody loved Trump. Somebody genuinely, wholeheartedly would be fucked up if he died today. So it gotta be some good in him. For somebody to love you and respect you and cherish you in that way, you gotta do good for them. To somebody, he's a great person. He probably a great person to somebody or somebody's. So I just don't view people the same. And it made me think about Erykah Badu on Twitter when she was talking about Trump actually, and she referenced Hitler and how Hitler was a great painter or something like that. But black Twitter chewed her up and spit her out about that, because how dare you say something good about Hitler? But you only know Hitler through one lens. You only know Hitler through one lens, and that's the Holocaust. That's the only way you know him. You just know him for genocide. You don't know how he treated his mom. You don't know how he treated, if he got siblings, his brothers. You don't know how he treated his friends. You don't know what his dreams were when he was a child. You don't know what he went through. You don't know him as a whole human. You just know the number one headline that you see in the history of Hitler, but you don't really know him. So I take the Erykah Badu approach with people. Like, I don't judge you and sum you up from what's the most popular thing I've heard about you, or that I've seen about you, or that I've read about you, or whatever. I understand all of us are three-dimensional. So even though you might do great over here, you're doing bad somewhere. If you're doing bad right here, you're doing good somewhere. We all yin and yang. And if we understood that more, we wouldn't cancel people so quickly. Like, I think we need to be canceling the people that run this country and the people that got us fucked up in the country, man. The people that got us fighting for shit that was automatically ours. This planet was automatically ours. When the day you were born, this planet was yours. There's nobody who can tell you where you can and can't go in this planet. The whole fact that you're an alien if you're from Mexico but you move here, that shit weird. How am I an alien? I was born on this planet. How am I an alien? I should be able to go anywhere I want to go. There shouldn't be no wall to stop me or nobody who can tell me if I can live here or not. You didn't make this part of the planet. You literally did not make this whole part of the planet that we call the United States. You might have helped build some buildings here, but you didn't make this land. This portion of this rock that we're spinning on, this wet-ass rock we on, you didn't make that. So how can you say that a Chinese person shouldn't be over here, or an African shouldn't be over here, or we shouldn't be in Africa? Or that shit weird to me, but that's humans playing God. We always want to play God, and that's a big part of all this shit we talking about. Because we want to play God, we want to cast judgment so bad. We want to say what's good, what's bad, who's right, who's wrong, so bad. We want to say what's true and what's false, so bad. We want to be the one to say, you're okay, we give you life, or off with your head. We want to be able to say those things. We want to have that control so bad. And ultimately, all that is ego. This whole world is drowning in ego, and ego is pulling us down, man. This shit pulling us down. It's a lot we could be doing with this opportunity we have called life, but yet all we're really doing is having battles of ego and pride and letting our emotions dictate all of our movements and actions, so much so that we're acting animalistic instead of acting like human beings. And there's nothing more animalistic than watching a human being that's not being human. Be human. You're a human. All this kings, queens, goddess shit, it sound good, and if you really believe that, rock with it. But don't let that shit poison your mind, though. Don't get drunk off your own ego. Don't king and queen yourself to death that you don't know how to respect your fellow man. Don't king and queen, God and goddess yourself to death that you think you're better than somebody because they don't have melanin. Or you think you're better than somebody. Like, we're not better than anybody. Period. Period. There's no human you can name on earth that you can factually say you're better than. That's only your opinion. It's all subjective. We're not better than nobody because technically all of us ain't shit. If we gonna be for real, if we really had to say some shit to be across the board and be accurate, all of us ain't shit. That's the only true thing I can say. You ain't shit, I ain't shit, you ain't shit, y'all ain't shit. Nobody walking this planet All of us ain't shit.
All of us matter, but neither one of us matter.
We ain't shit.
Like, we matter in the bigger picture, in the bigger scheme of things, but we don't matter.
In the bigger picture, in the bigger scheme of things.
So
we ain't shit.
Everybody serves their purpose. Everybody has their place. If you just love and respect where your fellow person is and where you are, everybody can move accordingly and do what everybody needs to do and set forth to do. But since everybody want to be on top, it's gonna always be a constant battle because everybody can't be on top at one time. Everybody can't do it. That's too much weight up there. Everything will crumble down and everybody at the bottom, and then we still scratching and scraping just to get back up to the top.
We ain't shit. We ain't shit. I just want to say that way. You know what I mean? Like, I don't want to sweeten that up. I don't want to dress that up. I don't want to sugarcoat that. We ain't shit. But you can hear that and see that as a bad thing. But you're only seeing it as a bad... If you feel some kind of way about me saying that right now, please know and understand that's your ego. That's your ego that's resisting that statement. It's that ego in you, that me element of you, the part of you that says I matter, that part of you can't accept that you don't matter as much as you think. That part of you can't accept, like, damn, I'm not perfect. I know I got flaws, but accepting the fact that I have flaws is two different things. That's two different things. You can know you have a flaw, but still don't accept that you have that flaw. Like, you know it because you can't run from it, but accepting it is a choice.
That's a whole nother
That's a
story.
choice. So when I say we ain't shit, I don't mean there's no good in you or no good in me and we don't even deserve life or to live. That ain't what I mean when I say we ain't shit. I mean, all of us are flawed as fuck. And if you know anything about the Bible and have read the Bible, even God said, no man is good. God is good. There's not a person on this planet that's good in God's eyes because we got evil in us. We got sin in us. We born with that in us. You know what I mean? So until we overcome the badness in us and become our true selves, which goes back to what I said earlier, the becoming, until we go through the process and become the best part of us, the higher version of ourselves, we ain't shit. And even when you become that person, in the big scheme of things, even though you're your higher self now, you're still a drop in the ocean. You're a drop in the ocean. You know what I mean? Like, we're not as big as we think in the big scheme of things, man. And I love the fact that I ain't shit. I don't look at it negative. I look at it as freeing. Like, because I matter so little, I don't have to work so hard and do so much to try to earn my keep. My keep already earned. It was earned the moment I was born. The fact that I woke up today means that God, like, hey, you earned your keep today. I need you for something. I'm happy with that. I don't need to be praised and held on a pedestal and all that. Like, I understand I ain't shit, but I understand that I'm great though. Like, and I know both things are true. I ain't shit, but I'm great though. You know what I mean? And with the greatness that God put in me, I'm going to use that greatness to help make her great, to help make him great, her great, them great. Whoever I can touch with this greatness and who can absorb some of this greatness that God got flowing through me, I'm going to use that until I'm literally ain't shit because I'm no longer existing on this plane. But that's just how I choose to live, man. I would rather me and you be equal than me be above you. Like, that's just how I'm wired. Like, I don't want to be above nobody. I don't get no fun out of that. I don't enjoy that. That don't make me feel better. Like, what makes me feel better is to see all of us good. Not just, oh, everybody look at me like I'm whatever. Like, that ain't how I'm wired. But there's so many levels to the revolution, man. What Nick Cannon did, we need. We needed that George Floyd shit. We needed to have these conversations about men and women and what's going on in our home that Will and Jada inspired. And we need to finish that conversation because that conversation ain't done. That's gonna take time for us as people, as black people, to come together and really dissect that situation alone. Because the Will and Jada shit got so many layers to it that we need to tap on, touch on, and speak on. But that's part of this revolution, y'all. You know what I mean? This shit with Nick Cannon, this is part of the revolution. Like, that needed to happen. And what I'm really learning and realizing is 2020 is everything we thought it was, but it's nothing we thought it was. It is the year where we see shit come to fruition. It is the year where things are in plain sight. But it's not the self-glorified ego shit we thought it was. It's not, oh, in 2020, the world's going to see how great I am. Oh, in 2020, I'm going to see millions of dollars and blah. It ain't that. It's really like 2020, you going to see reality. You going to see the world for real as it is in 2020. And man, I thank God for this shit. I thank God, man. This year is the best year of my life.
2020.
Like, this shit crazy.
2020 is the year where our vision is not clouded anymore. So all that 2020 vision stuff we've been speaking and asking for and trying to manifest, we actually are. It's just what we're seeing now is just everything that we either ignored or our vision was blocked to is now actually being, like you said, putting in our forefront. Like, we actually starting to see things for what they really are now in order to be able to move and walk into the vision that we really saw for ourselves. So, and it's gonna take some work. Just like any other thing, it's gonna take work to get to that point. So
we on the way though, man. And we thank y'all, man, for everybody who tuning in, who walking this journey with us as a people, whether you black, white, yellow, blue, turquoise, whatever color you are. If you are in support of Black lives, man, if you understand why we say Black Lives Matter, we thank you. If you support us and ride with us, and especially if you're sitting down and talking to your people about what our people are going through in a way where you're trying to enlighten them and educate them so they'll see us through a different lens than what the media paints us as, I thank you so fucking much. We need y'all. We love y'all. We glad to have y'all here on this journey with us. It won't always be this rough. Eventually, we will have peace and we'll be able to connect as people created by God and not people born in black skin, people born in yellow skin, light skin, whatever the hell. Eventually, we just gonna connect from the fact that we are all creations of God. And at the end of the day, we can talk race, but let's not forget about the human race. You know what I mean? So we gonna end it on that note, y'all. I could talk about this shit for like 3 hours straight, me personally. But if I don't want to be Nick Cannon, there's certain things I don't need to say. Which honestly and truly, I've said everything I want to say. I don't really bite my tongue that good. I don't like how I feel. But we thank y'all for tuning in, man. On that note, before we go, I do want to say this. The Illuminati is real. There are people who aren't American citizens. They don't live in America that run America. America is not ran by Americans. It's ran by Europeans. It's ran by foreign people. People who only have a stake in this country from a monetary standpoint. They don't care about us as a people. They only care about how we can benefit them. And the only way we really benefit them is we keep their agenda alive. They want to keep their families in power. That's all this is. It ain't even about black and white no more. It's white folks who in fucked up positions just like black folks. It's white folks that they call trailer park trash that they just throw out they throw out of the system as if they might as well be niggas, like black niggas. They might as well be black niggas because it ain't about color no more. It's about status. It's about class. It's about power. And if you don't have that, you might as well be a black nigga. You know what I mean? If they don't see that you're valuable or you have worth to them, they just gonna throw you away, period. It don't matter what color you are. You're gonna be thrown away in the world and in society in America. So we gotta realize it ain't a color thing, man. All of us, no matter what color you are, we gotta come together because we fighting the same enemy. We just don't know it. We gotta stop believing with the lies that they told us all this time and start finding the truth for ourselves. So y'all go out here, man, y'all research, y'all talk, y'all connect, y'all reach out to people, y'all get a better understanding. That's the number one thing. Get a better understanding. Understand that racism is a product it's a product of ignorance. It is a product of ignorance. If you educate yourself, you won't be racist. And anybody can be racist. But thank you, Nick Cannon. I love what you said. I appreciate what you said. I feel what you said. I agree with what you said. I stand by what you said. And I hope you continue to stand on what you said. Because we need that, man. Y'all have a good one. Y'all be safe. Love each other. Love yourself. Spread black love. Spread black love. Spread love, man. We need love. This has been your boy. This your boy. Nah, but for real though. This been Joe Henson, man, your host for the night.
I'm Briley.
We are Black Love, man, and this is Lane Shit Different Day, man, and we gonna see y'all next week. But until then, y'all watch that Juneteenth Everyday video. Follow us on our social media platforms at BLYKE_LOVE. We are Black Love. Y'all make sure y'all hit that subscribe button, comment, let's chop it up, share this shit on social media. All that good love, man. We love y'all. Thank God and peace.